Ballcock. Let's go get Reed Miller's treasure of the 50,000 years.
Don't underestimate these fungi.
Oh boy, what voice did I give Tolfin? I can't even remember. I gave that Starion like ass, whatever voice. Tolfin, what are you doing here? Nah, fantastic. Just the duo I was waiting for. How did you know we would come here? You've been following us since we partied at Blue Amber Lake? I was only joking, dear Paimon. I came back to visit my parents, and I just so happened to be running errands here in Pyramida when I spotted to you. Paimon sees. Wait, you have family here? I thought you were adopted by the big old mechanical guy, right? What's strange about that? Just like a raven is born to ravens' parents, people don't magically appear out of thin air. That's not what Paimon meant. No, come to think of it, we're not really that close. Part can see I was kind of a personal question. Because, yeah, can I ask a question? What is it personal? You find the Cognoscenti? Good idea. Tolfin knows everyone here. We just might have the info we need. You recount your experiences searching for and finding proofs of the Cognoscenti. That's our life in Blue Amber Lake. We found one in a bunker left by Reed Miller. So, Tolfin, do you have any idea what the last proof of the Cognoscenti might be? I do have a few thoughts. However, so she'd be hitting that shit, but seeing as it's the Traveler, he'll probably be fine. From everything I've heard about your adventures, I believe he should be able to overcome the trial. Ah, great. It's gonna be some bullshit-ass thieves trial, huh? Of course not. Besides, I have total confidence in your abilities, Traveler. The last proof of the Cognoscenti is actually with my grandmother. I'm on my way to pay her a visit now. Why don't you tag along? Seriously? What are the chances? Tolfin's grandmother? What do you think she's like, Traveler? Do you think she's the kind of sweet old lady who loves to tell stories? Like, this dude has the fact that he has so many pieces of the treasure and stuff, he's either Reed Miller himself, which doesn't make any sense because Reed Miller's like 500 years old, or he's a descendant of Reed Miller, or he's already found Reed Miller's treasure. There's no reason for him to know every single story and have every piece of like the Cognoscenti. She does tell stories, but never mind. You'll see when we get there. How much you want to bet? This dude's just straight up like a descendant of Reed Miller. Well, we'll find out. When your grandmother lives out here in the middle of fuck all nowhere, bro. Not much of a house. This is your grandmother? Well, look who's remembered to visit. Did you take care of that matter for me, you little brat? Of course I did. How would I dare show my face if I hadn't? This is my grandmother, though I'm sure she'd rather be known as Helena, the Black Barrel Hag, than a failed merchant's grandmother. Doesn't look like Tolfin at all. He's way too serious. I hear that a lot, but at the end of the day, we're a family, and we're a lot more alike than people think. This here is the Traveler, and this is Paimon. They've already found other proofs of the Cognoscenti. Oh, so you already found the other four? That takes a real talent. But I'm afraid you're gonna have to let me see that talent for yourself. Seeing as the brat brought you in, I won't make things too hard on you. How about we just trade a few moves? Wait, hold on a second. This is, something about this doesn't feel right. And what exactly is the problem? If you want to get your hands on the great treasure, you'll naturally think of having me first. She's a stubborn old hag, bag of bones. But once she sees what you can do, everything will be on the table. Go on then, Traveler. It's in your hands now.
Come on then, show me what you've got.
I'll protect us.
You got this. Behold the dawn.
Your moons converge. Flame.
Without further ado.
You gotta do freezer overload, huh? Interesting. Using Skirk to beat the fuck out of this old lady then. Not bad at all. You do have promise. Yeah. This is the proof of the Cognoscenti you've been seeking. If you want to claim the great treasure, there's still one final path yet to tread. That's it. We got all 5 pieces. Not that I'll hold him back. Not considering how sharp the little lad is. He's far more fitting heir to the treasure than treasure hoarders than you are, you useless lump. Heir to the treasure hoarders? So he is the heir. So, okay, yeah. Huh? So this granny's a treasure hoarder? And Dolphin? You too? The followers of Reed Miller. I guess you could say that. I would have never guessed. You don't look like a treasure hoarder. Don't tell Paimon you knew about this all along, traveler. I mean, I figured it out pretty quickly that he's probably not a treasure hoarder, but like a descendant, probably. But I swear I had no idea. No, don't tell me you didn't explain it to them. Were you really planning to deliver the great treasure to a couple of know-nothings who couldn't tell a treasure hoarder if they introduced themselves and brought themselves to their grandmother? They've shown they've had what it takes to gather the proofs of the Cognoscenti, and they handled our challenge just fine. In fact, weren't you praising them just now? You little... Alright, don't give yourself a heart attack. I'll explain everything to them right now. I'll see to it that the traveler is willing to be the treasure hoarder's heir. Exactly what you wanted. And you really think you can make all that clear to them, lickety-split? What are you so worried about? Won't you ever shut up about how it's like good for nothing, Brahe? At least I inherited his gift for smooth talking, didn't I? Dolphin leads you to the quieter corner to talk. So what's really going on here? We heard that... All we heard is that if we collect all 5 proofs of the Cognoscenti, we can find the great treasure hidden east of the moon and west of the sun. Are you seriously telling Paimon that we'd have to take over as leaders as treasure hoarders just to get Reed Miller's treasure? Honestly, all this air talk is weirding out Paimon. Yeah, bro, I didn't realize they would actually organize a group. I know Reed Miller organized them, but like, that was 500 years ago. Exactly. There are people who call themselves treasure hoarders in every corner of Tibet these days. And that's where the problem lies. While we might be able to face reality, my stubborn grandmother still dreams of the day where the treasure hoarders can restore their glory from the deities of Reed Miller. She fantasizes that someone will come along and rally the masses, let the dead bury the dead, and rise to build an Elysium for the hungry and poor on the wealth of the high and haughty. Well, most of us have heard how Reed Miller stole from the rich to help the poor. Very few know that the treasure hoarders once defended the Elysium from a dark abyss. Now, we know about that. It was the treasure hoarders' golden age. It was the worst of times, and yet, somehow, it was also the best. Very nice Godfather reference. I don't know. Maybe things are still the same today. But the era has passed, and she'll have to accept that someday. She ain't 500 years old, is she? That shit old as hell. You're not wrong, but what are we supposed to do about it? Before we go any further, traveler, are you willing to serve as the heir of the treasure hoarders and see Reed Miller's dreams as one day fulfilled? I kind of got my own dreams to fulfill. Just as I thought. Then how about we do it this way? Let's put on a little show. What? That's what you said back in Blue Ember Lake. Sure, you had helped us get the proof of the Cognoscenti back then. But who knows what you use these sneaky tricks on us. Whatever the super duper Reed Miller treasure is, who's gonna like swindle it from us somehow. But we're gonna be like, yeah, that's fine, you could lead them. No clue what that super duper treasure will be, but I already know it's gonna get swindled from us. Why would I do anything to thwart you when you've already such good friends? No. Instead of being suspicious, how about we focus on what we're going to say? You have reached a discussion with Tolfin about how to convince Iletta. According to Tolfin, simply mentioning the name Avrelian should be enough to get her trust. If she ever brings up the name Brahe, all you have to do is say that you don't agree with his methods. As for these two people actually are, Tolfin says it's a long story. He explained it. Yeah. We've read about them in the books and the notes left behind. So, what do you say, little lad? Are you in? I'll fulfill his dream. Good, that's the spirit. If I went for the little brat acting just like good for nothing Brahe, the proof of the Cognoscenti wouldn't have been scared and lost for so long. Nothing like Tolfin, or that brain call it fellow. You can rest assured. Even I had to admit that the traveler is the most suitable candidate to inherit the great treasure. Then it's settled. All that's left is for you to retrieve the great treasure. At the treasure site, you'll likely run into a few tricks left behind by that good for nothing. I'll show you how to handle anything he came up with. I must have no idea where east of the moon and west of the sun could be. Oh, well, that's just lying. Well, that lies just beyond the horizon, yet so close you can touch it. Also, I won't be joining you for the next trial, so here's to wishing you all the best. Still, I'll be in Pyramida for a little while longer, so please let me know if everything goes well. I'm counting on the both of you. Oh, look at that. Maybe he won't swindle us out, bro. Here I was thinking he would get super duper secret ball cock, we'd build his treasure. Where we're like, look at that, we got all the gold and the mask and the weapons, whatever the fuck. And then the actual, like, super secret duper treasure that's like map, compass, anything that's sequence you as the leader of the treasure hunters. We got swiped away by him at like the last second. And we're like, well. I knew I could have blown this thing up with a little bit of explosives, bro. Well done. The Raven's Legacy. I don't believe it. This is where Reed and Miller dumped the treasure. Oh, his Weasel Thief might be able to fucking steal all the treasure. I just realized that. What's this sign, son? Gold is noble and silver is bright, but which metal truly please the iron-faced gatekeeper's sight? As the saying goes, like calls to like, so perhaps the answer didn't cut and dried. If all else fails, winning by brute force still makes you the hero. Gold and silver. And it's just... Let's read it again, everybody. Take it from the top. Gold is noble and silver is bright, but which metal truly pleases the iron-faced gatekeeper's sight? Like calls to like. Okay, so if it's iron, then take the iron key. Got it. I mean, yeah, like... What's this? Looks like an iron coin. If that doesn't match that other iron coin, it probably sure does. We should hang on it just in case. See what ancient demon treasures lie down deep beneath in the ancient realms of Tibet. It dug out an explosive barrel. They're about to collapse this fucking cave. Within this little plot, both danger and luck are found. To tell the fake from real, look where the strange rock lights the ground. The main gate is locked down hard, so don't bother trying to... the main gate is locked down hard, so don't bother turning until the sky falls apart. The shiny rock, who said? Strange rock. Don't try to pull it apart until the gate falls. I mean, the strange rock. That's a rock. Can we just rip this fucking shit out the sky? That just seems like it's telling me. Pull the bitch out the fucking sky. Strange rock points. I mean, that looks like a rock, but like...
Be cleansed.
There's no way. No, okay, I was gonna say, it wasn't this strange rock. Wasn't this strange? Keep digging. Yeah, keep digging.
Arrogant and presumptuous.
Yeah, there's a chest down here. Wait a minute,
You
what?
should take it. It may prove useful.
No. What exactly is a strange rock?
Without further ado,
You did say, even if you... What am I doing? They can't damage you, damage. Oh, wait, you get, like, grabbables if you need to do all this. Some of these have chests. Yeah, some of these have chests. What the hell am I doing all these at? What the hell? Oh, boy.
be cleansed.
You hit him with a nuclear block, that's what I can. Where'd it go? Get back here, son. Get back here. Where are you going? Ah, yes, rebuilding treasure. Yeah, what the hell, though?
They call this a pleasant surprise.
And I need these
Right.
gem chests because I'm gonna still need to get a Luga. A C2 Luga.
Surge.
I wish I did some digging this time. Ow.
They call this a pleasant surprise. Let's dance.
Oh, we suddenly dug everything up on the ground. Alright, that's enough of this. Let's rip the wall off. Was that it? The door open now? Because I fucking blew a hole in the fucking... Oh, no key. It's a red Kuvaki key. So we blew up this. Ah, okay. Yeah, so nothing on the ground even mattered. It was just in the sky. I literally said it. It was like it's a strange rock point. So the only thing above there is the... Interesting. Until the sky falls. The stubborn weasels dig the dirt, it's hurried for unseen. The key is given darkly, where the moving shadows scream. The clanging iron coins fall and halt right at its feet. A forceful claim may yet yield a bounty sweet. The little ones have picky tastes, and usually what they like to teach other children. Okay. Oh, not that one. Aged rod. Aged acorns. Nope, not interested in that. What about the acorn? You like to eat that, you little shit. What, meat? There's no way you like eating meat. Cannibals? Oh, okay. I guess. Oh, they're meat eaters. Oh my god. Hey, it's we do this great job. Like, literally. Society traveler. We don't. Okay, I didn't have to read any of that. Love it. What the? Where am I? No. fucking fall off the cliff edge. Elysium's final treasure added to the archive. This is it. This is the treasure of Miller who reads. This is all gold. Another Weasel Thief statue. 305. What's this note say? To my esteemed guests who've gathered all the proof the Cognoscenti. If you're reading this note, it means that you successfully solved my puzzle. Congratulations, well done. Now for the legendary great treasure. If you're looking for it right in front of you, you're welcome. Please enjoy yourself. Those unclaimed riches are spoiled to the Cognoscenti. However, as the founder of Treasure Hoarders, I would like to give you one more piece of advice. No matter who you are, exposing mountains of wealth in the light of day, flaunting in the pursuit of glory and vanity, therefore acting in envy and cautious eyes of onlookers is not a wise move. Please take these treasures, which belong to you alone, away quietly. Then remove this now and pretend you never found anything. But the people that believe they prove the Cognoscenti still lie scattered across every corner of the continent, waiting for it to continue to be circulated. Let those who dream certain riches continue their hard work. This way, the wealth you obtain in countless trials which are safe in your hand. Oh, okay. Look, well, don't flaunt your wealth. It's a bunch of iron coins, huh? I mean, hey, you can probably do something with all these iron coins. Dickhead. Okay. Nice. 2 more chests. Or just this one more, because we had 3 of 5. Interesting. So, like always, the treasure is not anything worth getting. Where y'all going? So it's not a real treasure, it's just a bunch of bullshit. Although, I mean, hey, a lot of iron coins. Maybe we can build an iron mine or something. What the hell are you?
While the light shines bright. Be gone, shadow of darkness.
A moonlit night for all.
Like the dust. Lofty wisdom will show us the way.
Pretty tough as well, bro.
You got this. Behold, the dawn.
Without further ado, like the
I'm gonna sit and talk about something like that because clearly, Hydra was not doing anything to this dude. Faster way up instead of climbing? That would look like it. Did I already investigate the damn chest? Really? Let's see what the secret, super duper secret treasure of Reed Miller is. What the 500-year-old god himself has ordained. Okay, that's Kuvaki being pulling up the iron coins as a super magnetism. Must have buried it underneath all the iron. It's a ship. This treasure hunter could be on board. I suspect it's killing Paimon.
A gift from the heavens. I shall gladly accept it.
Whose ship is this? And half of it's buried. Not even just like... Let's see. Raise necessary proof of the Cognoscenti has been spread. Once people know the key exists, they won't go out of their way to find alternative means of entry. All I have to do now is fabricate a few tales of treasure hunters who try to take shortcuts but came up empty-handed, then spread them under the names of Brahe the Bard and Grand Duke Trubtatsky. That should be more than enough to convince the future generations of the necessity of seeking the proof of the Cognoscenti. Like his greedy father, the new Grand Duke Trubtatsky heard rumors of the treasure and schemed to seize even the gifts the Master Thief had left before. and what the magnificent treasure it was, more splendid than gold of PC, more dazzling than the silver of Kitsagrad. Even the flesh of the blood, the Lord of the Geo could scarcely measure its worth. I doubt that one. Such vast hordes of iron corns the Master Thief left behind, was enough to shake the very economy of the northern lands. Wait, that's not right. If I was to share contents, outright people will lose interest. Yeah, iron coins? Who would want that? Such a treasure the Master Thief left behind, wealth enough to shake the very economy of the northern lands. Even a bard such as Nimble Limp Silver Tongue could scarcely be counted in a fool. Alright, that'll do. And lastly, I'll spit something about how the new Grand Duke Trusky was emergency bested by the Master Thief's companion, a beautiful known as Wagtail, as long as it's written in a sufficiently dashing manner. I'm sure Miss Aaliyah wouldn't mind. Oh, so, like always, there was no treasure, it was just a story. So the iron coins were really the currency here back in the day. That means that most of these things could have truly called a great treasure. Ugh, if I had come here a few hundred years ago, then we'd be rich. But iron coins aren't worth much more these days. No, value lies in scarcity. Exactly. If we can find this prototype iron coin he wrote about, collectors sure go crazy for it. Well, I bet we get a pretty good penny for that one. Too bad if we don't know where it's buried. Ugh, and if we're really supposed to dig up the whole place by ourselves. We're gonna dress enough of that. Yeah, we gotta find something. Oh, you're right. We must get on the right side of here. She might be able to handle their attack, but Paimon will sure have to fly far, far away. Speaking of which, the Black Barrel Hag, that Paimon's has seen Brahe's notes and all these iron coins. She probably understands what that old lady wants to bring back the good old days. Yeah, it must have been good to have some real Elysium. Paimon thinks we're living a pretty wonderful time too. You and Paimon and all the friends on a journey. This is our golden age. That's probably how Tolfin feels as well. He chose not to share his full history of the Treasure Hoarders with us because he didn't want to bear the weight of expectations. Looks like this adventure ends here. Getting all 5 fruits of the Cognoscenti wasn't easy, and Paimon knows it was far from the fruitless journey. She can't help feeling a little disappointed. By the way, what do you think the ship here is? Oh, a ship of dreams that ran aground forever since sail? Yeah, Paimon must mean it's a Treasure Hoarder's secret dock. For hundreds of years, I passed now. The local geography's probably changed, but I figured there's probably never going to be a chance. Probably never going to get the chance. That's a shame. Even though the ship's 100 years old, it still almost looks new. Traveling would be so much easier in a big boat like this, don't you think? I'll be the captain. Paimon, you can be the chief mate. Aye, aye, Captain Traveler. Trying to jib the measurements and raising the port side anchor with a loaded line, Captain. Yeah, convincing Paimon she's meeting us. Come on. Take the helm, and let's set sail. Let me guess, the fucking coin's gonna be in the helm of the ship. Okay, we got teleported to a different dimension. Nope, just a vision of the past. Bounty Island's just up ahead. Okay, I'm not even skipping, by the way. This is good. Wait, I'm not too sure about this. The treasure's been marked by the government. If we take it, don't worry. We'll have a few more days before the drill's over. And by the time the government notices, we'll manage the sensor grid. We'll be in the sensor gun. That's not what's bothering me. What if we end up in the dock hooks telling us where the treasure is? Who? You need to break it. What do you care? Damn, this dog is not even auto, it's just blowing through. What are you talking about? That kid, nothing alike. If you were on the same side as them, you wouldn't. Nah, don't worry about him. He'll be fine. He might be adopted, but he's still the governor's son. Besides, he's young. No one's ever gonna believe him. I hope you're right. So it's Sylvia and Rayla. So this is what a bounty island looks like. Guess it really does live up to its name. What are we gonna do with this loot? Same as usual. Though, we're taking it back to Nod-Krai. Why don't we give it to the kids on the street? I ran into them a few days ago while on patrol. That kid with a conch struck me as a smart one. I don't know what to do with the treasure, and who best to share it with. Suits me. Let's do it your way. But compared to the treasure that's in the governor's palace, the little trinkets seem hardly worth a bother. Even in the backwater like this, those arrogant fools still indulge in their outrageous extravagance. Their shiny facade can have the fact that they're all rotten to the core. Have you seen it yet? This place is no different from Sneznegrad. Are we really supposed to fight to protect people like this? And protect them from those with no causeless? The unseen, the downtrodden, the despised? I understand your anger. There's not much we can do. There's not much we can do right now. But sooner or later, we'll have to return or upturn the status quo and weed out the corruption root at stern. And must rise to the top by any means necessary. Count myself lucky to have ended up fighting by your side, Syl, but I often find myself looking back to where I came from. It's a place my brothers and sisters remain, and where they continue to endure hardships. They should never have to bear. Tell me, those innocent souls, were they born to suffer like this? If that's the law that is causing their suffering, then I shall rewrite the law. And if it's the corrupt nobles, then I shall purge them from the ranks. One day, I'll write and raise an Elysium that belongs to us on this land, a land that's always belonged to us. Hey! Isn't this the whole dream that we saw Professor Rotwang when he was like, Brahe, is that you? We're gonna make the Elysium. And she's like, no, bitch ass nigga, it's me, Aaliyah. I'm taking this, I'm blowing your ass up in the name of Reed Miller. It all ties together. I believe in you, Rayla. I know you can accomplish your dreams. Let's not talk about that now. Even thieves have their code, so I'll leave this behind. That way, the governor will know who took his treasure. It's just a pity I won't get to see his reaction myself. That would be a sight to behold. What just happened? We found a treasure hunter ship on our pile of iron cores, and you took the helm, and after that, it felt like a dream. We somehow ended up here. Those two, they mentioned someone called Brahe. Either way, it's crazy coincidence, or they must be from a long time ago. Well, at least we know that connection to this place. But yeah, and from what they're saying, there was some great treasure buried here. Or was some treasure buried here, even though we made off with it, it seems like they left something else in this place. It's been so long. Who knows if someone already dug it up by now? Well, Paimon, let's see if we can't find it. Paimon, we can't do it. Ironic. If Paimon's correct, it should be right here. Paimon can't believe it. It's still here. Why did the governor come to collect it? The governor never knew who took his shit. It's a Treasure Hoarders silver pendant, or platinum pendant. Is that why they left it here? Is this? Paimon doesn't understand. Let's ask Tolfin about it. Oh, Paimon's forgot. We should tell him what happened to the great treasure too.
A gift from the heavens. I shall gladly accept it.
Well then. I thought it was right here in front. O Raven, king of all birds, failed in a nest amidst the thorn bush cunningly unfurled. I stand upon the hazel and alder high to hear the birds sing for me loudly by. Well, it's good to see that all these people are tied together throughout the entirety of all of Nod-Krai. It's got self-contained like super quests like this. Like all of them, like, you know, Reed Miller and all the scientists and all the fucking people who destroyed everything for their Elysium to achieve their goal of like freedom. Oh, if it isn't the traveler in Paimon, have you found the great treasure already? You should read the pile of old coins. You like those old coins exactly where we found them. Well, actually, they're on top now. You told Tolfin what happened to the treasure. And for some reason, they're left behind this sort of raven insignia. It seems the Earth remembers far more than we ever could imagine. As a storyteller, I can't help but feel a bit humbled by that. After all, human life is fleeting, and oral history is prone to errors. Some stories may be lost forever, yet the Earth's memory no doubt remains true. I think it only have been Avrelian who left that raven insignia. You may be familiar with another names. Reed Miller. You mean the legendary thief Reed Miller? I would have never guessed by looking at him. Not now from what you describe. The things you almost happened before the Treasure Hoarders even formed. It said that back then he liked to play the role of heroic thief with his military academy buddies, stealing the riches and helping the poor. In fact, the raven insignias were derived from his crest as noble-born academy classmates. That's all in the past. I shan't bore you with the details. Anyways, seeing as our fates appear to be entwined, how about you take this raven insignia as a keepsake? I'm assuming this makes me the leader of all treasure hoarders. There's no need to worry. Like I said, the golden age is over. However, there is one slight problem. My stubborn grandmother seems to have taken a liking to you. If she ever asks you for a friendly sparring match, just don't turn her down. And don't pull your punches either. Paimon said, whoa, she's way stronger than a regular lady. We wouldn't dream of going anything, a pummeling her with everything we got. Well then, the great treasure buried east of the moon and west of the sun has been claimed by a pair of remarkable adventurers. This performance, too, has come to a close. Allow me to play you a tune and express my wish that every step of your journey be full of mystery and every path bring you jubilation. Cool, I guess. You even play a tune. That's it. So that's the end of Reed Miller's tale and Reed Miller's great treasure. It was the third Reed Miller, that is, the one named Brahe who left behind. Right, Reed Miller wasn't one person. We figured that out because Ayla took over the name Reed Miller, Brahe took over the name Reed Miller, and now we know that those two were also the first Reed Miller. So we get to see the first Reed Miller. So, it's a legacy to take Don the name Reed Miller. Or it was a legacy to Don the name Reed Miller. To carry on to find the Elysium. So eventually he died. As for why he did that, well, maybe he's to keep the future generations such a hook on that name Reed Miller would never be forgotten. Iron coins are from a currency issued by Avrelian, that is, the very first Reed Miller. He believed that in a world without divisions, in the Elysium, where no one went hungry or suffered from the cold, people should not be relying on wealth bestowed or uncovered by the gods to help each other. He believed that people should be masters of wealth, and not only did slaves, but even mastering the heart of gold would be an impossible task. Everyone should have the right to wield the wealth that belongs to all to begin with. But as you can see, both the iron coins he imbued with meaning quickly became worthless scrap metal after his death, largely due to the very people he had placed his faith in. Oh, and by the way, another piece of info that came from me to win, though I cannot guarantee its veracity, and since I have no way to verify it, please take it as you will. In Shino's Naya, there's a Victoria Harbinger with a rather peculiar obsession. He seeks to create more perfect economic order in this world. Unfortunately, he is not a collector of iron coins, otherwise he might be able to make a whole fortune or more selling these things. Interesting. That's our fucking refrigerator or regurgitator or whatever the fuck it is. The name Reed Miller was merely an alias to mask and hide one's true identity. It's like the fucking Grey Fox, or Grey Foxhound, or Greyhound, or what the fuck it is in Elder Scrolls. To the poor, or Robin Hood. To the poor, Miller was a figure of admiration, and while the nobles, the very mention of him would draw the curses and swearing, it was never the name of just one person. Even among the earliest treasure hoarders, there were already 3 individuals who went by the name of Reed Miller, and that doesn't even include those who later chose to pose as Miller for one reason or another. Well, just last week, I had a room with the 2 petty thieves, both calling themselves Miller. They attempted to steal my harp, but that's a story for another time. Putting the latter day pretenders aside, I do know a thing or two about the original trio, so which are the 3 are you asking about? How about the first? The first user's alias was Avrelian, that I mentioned to you before. He was an orphan who was adopted by a rank-and-file military officer named Brahe. After losing both his parents, as a result, he was able to attend his Royal Military Academy. Interestingly, according to the official record, shortly after Avrelian became the non-commissioned officer, he died in the line of duty for unknown reasons. Perhaps this is a way of getting out of the military, although I can't say for sure. Whatever the reasons, he serviced at Nod-Krai a few years later under the name Reed Miller, gathering the destitute who lived in the fringes of society into a band that became the first treasure hoarders. At that time, they recognized this young man from who knows where as their leader, believing he would free them from their shackles and build an Elysium where all was stand equal. Unfortunately, I cannot say that his dream was word, nor can I tell you much about the treasure hoarders operate at this time. Maybe he had a grand dream. Maybe like my grandmother. He possessed a strong, unshakable faith. Or maybe he harbored some other darker, more personal motive he couldn't share with anyone. That right, please don't tell my grandmother said that last part. Anyhow, 5 centuries ago, for most people, the only thing known about the very first treasure hoarder was that it eventually became of him, was a death by execution in Snezhnograd. Although he had never been captured by the authority before, he was convinced by a noble friend to walk away from his organization, leave everything behind, and go to Nod-Krai, supposedly to exploit himself to the Beliazar or something like that. And surprisingly, he was promptly sent to his death without so much as a glimpse of the Zod. This is why I said thieves and nobles don't belong together. It only ends in tragedy. Putting the latter-day pretenders aside, I do know a thing or two about the original trio. The second Reed Miller was a woman whose real name I don't know. All I know, she was a traitor to the Frostman Scions and struck her name from history altogether. Aaliyah. In truth, I have no idea what her connection to Avrelian was. As for the Frostman Scions 500 years ago, man, it's a pretty creepy place to be judging from one's poems I've read. According to Brahe, the entirety of Hisia was encircled by a golden wall taller than the Mount Is, whatever the fucking font. And so I really have no good explanation for how he could have known. She could have come to know Avrelian. And now, the Frostman Scions are transferred to something entirely different. So much that even I wonder if they're too gullible these days. That's why I told Miss Himbidi a few days ago that she was real lucky. Had she tried to dupe the Frostman Scions 500 years ago, she'd probably be with Alakamar by now. Anyway, after Avrelian was executed, she began donning that silver mask, claiming to be the master thief Reed Miller who had escaped the gallows. She molded the Treasure Hoarders a highly disciplined quasi-military force that almost resembled a religious order. Her mantra was one, that no one should place their faith in gods or deities. For it was humanity alone that held the power, not to save its own. Strange as it may sound, the best way to describe the Treasure Hoarders of the era must simply be an irreligious religious order. Under the name Reed Miller, she gathered a large group of bandits together. They picked the governor's palace in Nod-Krai clean in a single night. Although the countless curios, antiques, and wars and jewelry she made off them, she gave all of that away to the poor of Nashatown. This was the very storm of gold and silver the cheap novels so frantically describe. And for now, Nod-Krai is people absolutely revere Miller. But if you ask me, it has nothing to do with Avrelian's dream. That dream that my grandmother believed in so staunchly. But are most people living in Northwest Land, both his dream and Elysium, are distant as the moon. Who knows? Maybe they're just dreaming of someone like her, someone who dropped loot from nowhere right into their laps, without them giving us a single finger. But in the latter-day pretenders, who's the third one? A bit embarrassing for you to say this, but the three Reed Millers, the one I mentioned earlier, Brahe, is one of my grandmother really despises. Much as my grandmother doesn't want to admit, he's actually our forebearer. He was station higher than Solovi, the torch forger. He was adoptive son of the Fey Lord Dribelski, governor of all of Nod-Krai. Some have claimed he was actually the governor's illegitimate son, and because the blood of the Fey ran through his veins, he was more handsome than most people you'd ever meet. Of course, that's probably just an unfounded rumor. I mean, certainly neither of you can find traces of Fey blood on my face, can you? Like Avrelian? He was a student at the military academy. Though he enrolled long after Avrelian had graduated, I doubt the two of them ever crossed paths. After graduating from the academy, Brahe returned to Nod-Krai. Like every other Shnez-9 noble at the time, he settled into a life of indulgence and decadence. That is, until the night he got a glimpse of the second Reed Miller as she looted the governor's palace. Brahe fell in love with the Frostman Scion turncoat at first sight. So enamored was he that he even abandoned his life as a noble to join the Treasure Hoarders. The nobility at the leisure to see the suffering of others is as beautiful as romantic fantasy, whereas the truly destitute are regulated to the soulless villainy and rogues rolled in every tale. This is why my grandmother despised him so much. In her view, he was the one who tainted Avrelian's dream, the one who turned a name that was rightfully belonged to the poor into one of our frantic... What is that word? Farcical. Like farce. From a farcical story of romance. But it's just that. He abandoned his life as a noble after his beloved and continued to rob the rich and help the poor and aid the people of his land. So no matter what his motives were or how he went about achieving his goals, I don't think it can be said to have tainted Avrelian's name, not when we consider how many people he helped and how he bettered their lives. It's no exaggeration to say that all the stories about the master thief Reed Miller can be found in the cheap novels out there. Maybe 1 in 5 is about the traitor's Frostman Scions. 3 in 10 tell Brahe's tale, and the remaining half is just pure fiction, fabricated solely to tantalize and reel in the reader. While my grandmother may be steadfast believer in Reed Miller's dream, just what exactly is his dream? Or is this dream? Even Brahe might not fully understood it back in the day. So how do we claim to now? Having said that, maybe not all really matters. After all, as long as you have believed in something, you must believe in one must believe in something. If only to be able to have the courage to face the world. A man must have a code. Indeed. Putting the latter day aside, see ya, man. Yes, I'll see you around. Your journey be smooth. This was cool if you're into the read me lore, but like kinda lame to be honest. Nothing really like super duper, but then again, I mean not every quest needs to be some super grand ball cocking adventure where we discover the fate of the world and kill gods and discover some ultimate truth. Quest is just that. A simple quest about Reed Miller. How happy? I don't know. That would be a lot cooler.